We're looking at a My Math Lab problem, section 1.1, number 25. If you happen to check your textbook exercises, this would be similar to exercise number 25 in 1.1. Find an equation of the line in the form ax plus by equals c, whose x-intercept is negative 15 and y-intercept is negative 3, where a, b, and c are integers with no factor common to all three, and a has to be greater than or equal to 0. And you won't see an example exactly like this, but there's enough information that hopefully you can kind of think about it and figure out what do we need to do to solve this problem. So let's work through that. So we know our x, we have an x-intercept. Well, what is an x-intercept? That's where our line crosses the x-axis. So an x-intercept means that negative 15 is my x in my ordered pair and y is 0. So remember, that's your x-intercept. My y-intercept, well, that's where it crosses the y-axis. So that would be where x is 0 and my y is negative 3. So we know that because of that information given to us. Now what can we find here? Well, just think about how do you find the equation of a line? You need two things. You need a point and a slope. Do I have enough information to find a slope? We do. All you need is 2 points, and we have those 2 points. The one thing you need to remember is what is the formula to find a slope? And that's m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is all, and we want it in this form. Okay, so we need it in that form. And the other thing you're going to need to know is this y equals mx plus b form, or the slope-intercept form of a line. Okay, so these are things you need to get out of that section. And then think about it and say, okay, what do we have? Well, I can find the slope. I have enough information to do that. So I can say, well, I'm going to let this be my x1 and y1, and this be my x2 and y2. And it doesn't matter. You could let 0, negative 3 be your x1, y1, and then negative 15, 0 could be your x2, y2. So it doesn't matter which one. So let's go ahead and plug in our numbers. So I have negative 3 minus 0 over 0 minus negative 15. So negative 3 minus 0 is negative 3. 0 minus a negative, that ends up being a plus 15 on the bottom. And then we can reduce that, and I get a negative 1/5. That's my slope. So let's plug that into our equation here. So I have y equals negative 1/5 x plus b. Now what is b? That is our y-intercept. And that, again, this you should be able to get from this section. That's my y-intercept. What do I know what my y-intercept is? And you can say, yes, it was given to me. That's 0, negative 3. So minus 3, that's my y-intercept. So here's my formula, or I'm sorry, my equation in slope-intercept form. Well, it wants it in the form ax plus by equals c. So that means I need to get everything over except for the negative 3 to the left side. And a, b, and c are integers. So that means that negative 1/5, we need that to be an integer. What I'm going to do to make that happen, I'm going to multiply everything by 5. Okay? And so what does that do? Well, that gives me all integers. So if I multiply everything by 5, I get... let's see what we got here. I have 5y equals negative x, because 5 times negative 1/5 is just going to be negative 1 minus 15. And we're almost there. I just need to move my x to the left side of the equation, which means I add it. So it's going to be a plus x plus 5y equals negative 15. Now let's look at what we have, and that's a minus 15. Let me fix that up just a little bit here. I want to, almost looks like a 7, and we don't want that. Okay, so that was a negative 15. There we go. Now, is it in the form it asked? AX plus BY equals C. And yes, it is. So that would be our final answer, or the equation of the line that it was asking for.